In this video, we're going to talk about graphing inequalities on a number line. So I'm going to show you a couple of different examples on how to graph an inequality on a number line, and then I'll give you some basic notes to take with you as you do this. Alright, so when you're graphing an inequality, you have to start by solving the inequality and getting x by itself. So let's start with 2x minus 4 is less than 10. Alright, so again, when you're solving an inequality, you solve it like you would an equation. So you do opposite operations. So we're going to start by adding 4 to both sides of your symbols, and you get 2x is less than 14. Then you divide both sides by 2, and you get x is less than 7. Okay, so once you've gotten to this point right here, you're going to draw your number line. So you very simply draw a number line. Maybe. I don't know why it's disappearing on me here. Okay, and in the middle, we're going to focus this number line on our solution. So I want to graph all of the solutions where x is less than 7. So I'm going to start by putting 7 on my number line. Alright, and then I'm going to write in just a couple extra values here to indicate that as you move left along your number line, your values are getting smaller, and as you move right, your values are getting larger. Okay, so since x is less than 7, that means that it's everything less than 7. 7 is not actually a solution to this inequality. It acts like a border. So I still have to indicate that 7 is kind of a border. So what I'm going to use is what's called an open circle. Okay, so that open circle is not colored in. The reason we don't color that in is because, again, 7 is not included in the solution. It's just a border. Now, what I want to do next, though, is shade in on the number line all of the possible solutions. So since x is less than 7, that means I'm going to shade in everything to the left of 7 to indicate that as I move left along my number line, all of these values are possible solutions to this inequality. Alright, so let's do another one over here. I'll change the colors. Maybe. There we go. Alright, so let's try another one. Let's do 3x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 23. Alright, so start by subtracting 5. Divide by 3. Oh, I lost my equals to there. There we go. Okay, and so I get x is greater than or equal to 6. So on this number line, okay, again, I'm going to indicate 6 here. So that's going to be my focal point, and write in a couple of values that are less than and greater than 6. Okay, now since I have x is greater than or equal to 6, that means 6 is included in the solution. That means if I plug 6 back in here, I'm going to get a reasonable answer. So I'm going to do my circle at 6, and in this case I get to color in the circle at 6 because, again, 6 is included because of the equal to symbol there. Next, I'm going to shade to the right because x is greater than 6. So I have shade to the right to indicate that all of these values to the right of 6 along the number line are possible solutions to this inequality. Alright, so that's how you would graph that particular inequality solution set. Now, the basic rules here, you're going to use, if you have less than or greater than, you're going to use open circles. If you have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, you're going to use closed circles. Okay. Now, if it's less than or equal to, you're going to shade to the left. If it's greater than or equal to, you're going to shade to the right. And that's how you graph inequality solutions on a number line. Let's talk about interval notation. All right, so let's go back to that x is less than 7. If I want to write this in interval notation, okay, I need to think about what's the smallest value that I have in this solution set, and what's the greatest value that I have in this solution set. So since my solutions are less than 7, that means 7 is my largest number. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. And since it's everything less than 7, that means that my values go all the way down to something called negative infinity, because we don't know exactly what the smallest value actually is. So this symbol right here, this I guess sideways 8 with a negative sign in front of it, is a negative infinity sign. This indicates that it's the smallest numbers out there that we don't even know. All right. Since it is negative infinity, I'm going to use a parentheses as my border. Over here, since it's not equal to 7, I'm going to use a parentheses over here. Now, to indicate that my solution set goes from negative infinity to 7, I'm going to put a comma in between the values. The comma represents basically through. So if I were to read this in interval notation out loud, I would say that my solution set goes from negative infinity through 7, but 7 is not included in the solution set. And I know that because of the parentheses. Okay, so let me show you the other solution that we had, which I think was x is greater than or equal to 6. Now I would write this one using interval notation, okay, in a slightly different way. Since x is greater than or equal to 6, 6 is included in the solution set, okay, and 6 is actually my smallest value in the solution set. So I'm going to have 6 first, and it goes through the largest number possible because it doesn't have an upper boundary. So that means that I'm going to use positive infinity. All right, so my values for the solution set are 6 through infinity. It keeps going forever and ever. Now, since 6 is included in the solution set, I'm going to use these brackets. It's square parentheses. Since I'm using infinity on the other side and I don't know exactly what infinity is, I have to use the rounded parentheses. So if I read this interval notation out loud, since I have a square bracket, that means that the 6 is my smallest value in my solution set, and it's included in the solution set through infinity. But infinity, since again we don't know what it is, has to be indicated with the round parentheses. So here's how it breaks down. If you use parentheses, that simply says the solutions are not included. If you use the square brackets, the solution is included. The comma means through. Infinity and negative infinity, remember, infinity, okay, means that the values go on and on forever and we don't know what the largest or smallest values actually are. This is your basics for interval notation. Don't freak out. This is going to take some practice and we'll do plenty of that.